So last week, here comes. Last week what we covered, the highest seeker since birth, and they have an intense aspiration. They can achieve the result, or they can achieve the ultimate or awakening very fast. I have given you a lot of examples. Swami Vivekananda was there. He lived only 37 years of his life. Contributed, just to give you some reference, he contributed more than 200 books. He came to USA. He was the first yoga master in 1893 in Chicago, World Parliament of Religions. There he gave a big talk. You can find it on the Google. Same thing with the Shankaracharya. But you see that for Buddha, it took almost 6 years of austerity and practice, meditation. Then he achieved the highest state of the mindfulness. Then there are, like Ashtavakra, by birth. That is what we are covering on Saturdays. At the age of 14 years, he was one of the greatest teachers, guiding the king. So now, question comes, what should we do if we are not the highest level of a seeker? See, look at the Patanjali, the systematic approach, he does it. So we have the second sutra. That because it does not mean that I am not a highest level of a seeker, that inspired me a lot. My master used to say, okay, you are not. You see lot of changes, lot of problems. The mind is constantly attached. It moves with the likes and dislikes. Now we miss this part. So the master is saying, no worries. Learn, understand what are the traits required to become the highest level of a seeker. Because seeker always succeeds in the journey, in the path. So the master says, Shraddha Virya Smriti Samadhi Prajna Purvak Itaresham. No worries. Normally it happens, so if I say, Sam, can you put me into IT? So he will ask me, do you have the expertise? No, I don't know anything. No, you cannot work. Simply. But here in the journey of meditation, we don't say that you cannot do it. We say, no, we have the necessary traits. If you develop those necessary traits, you can become the highest level of a seeker. Krishna, you are not smiling today. So keep smiling. So, Shraddha Virya Smriti Samadhi Purvak Itaresham. So the first quality, the first trait we should develop is Shraddha. Normally translated as faith. We will understand that. Second is the energy. Energy or enthusiasm, that is related to commitment. You can say me that I was little clever after a couple of months. And then I started sending the email, let us meet at 7:50, share your experiences, and majority of you agreed to it. But if I had said early in the beginning, you said, what a crazy guy. So the teacher put something directly or indirectly. So that is what shows the energy. So the first trait is Shraddha, the faith. Shraddha, Virya. Virya here, people, we translate in English as it is, and then we have a total wrong notion and misunderstanding. That we will take up. So faith is one, and the energy is second, and then the right memory. We will understand for the last 1 year the way we are going on, why I ask you to share your experiences, because that then there is a right memory. Oh, I have experienced this. Some people don't want to share because of their ego, and ego is the biggest block. Now the civil Shraddha, faith, energy. Third is right memory. And fourth is, he says, Samadhi. Samadhi here means that can my mind stay there for a longer period on any object. So here the word Samadhi or meditation means different thing. And so how many things? Faith, energy, right memory, one-pointedness, and prajna. Prajna means the higher consciousness. Now take up each one. Shraddha, faith. Do you believe me? No. We should not have a blind faith or blind belief. Every master says we should have a right knowledge. Let there be a total clarity. Let there be a conviction. So what happens? The intellect has a clarity and a conviction, and when it descends down into the heart, it becomes faith. So we don't talk about the blind faith, blind belief, no blind belief. Now go a little deeper into it. Shraddha, as you have understood, that every Sanskrit word conveys the deeper meaning. Shraddha, it normally translated as faith, but now Shraddha is made up of two syllables. Shrat, Shrat means truth, and the second syllable means what? Holding on. So what you are holding on? And where you are holding on? You are holding on the knowledge of the real self in your mind 24/7. After understanding. Now see how it benefits you. No, I have lot of problem, anxiety. So now remember this. You are holding on your real nature. How can I have anxiety? The mind repels it. No, forget about it. So you stop the entire thought process in the mind. No, you are responsible for my misery and problems. You see that? I'm holding on the real self. So that I simplify, let me hold on to the peace. Peace is my essential nature. Let me hold on to my happiness. The mind drops. So, first trait to become the highest level of a seeker. Then comes virya. Now you see that if you translate virya in a simple English, it simply means the semen. But that is the total misunderstanding. So here, the virya means a tremendous energy, enthusiasm, commitment. That is the meaning. Energy, enthusiasm. Okay, now the class is starting at 8, so let me join. Let me listen half-heartedly so I don't have that energy and commitment. I am not listening with that awareness and attention. It is not that I am important. You are not listening to the principles. The mind is not clear. So that is the second quality. And followed by, when you are committed, when you have that energy, even in your personal, professional life, wherever you are holding on that, real self is my nature, real self is my nature. So what normally happens in anxiety? I have a lot of problems. I have fear. What should I do? How should I do? Leave all these thought process. Replace it. And the second is that virya, energy, enthusiasm, commitment. Have you seen in any of the sessions that I'm feeling sleepy? Okay, let us do it. Have you ever seen? Can you maintain that energy? That energy is driven off by this crazy mind. When the mind thinks that I am in anxiety, I have a lot of problem. You keep all the wrong notions. Third, right memory, smriti. Smriti means right memory. Whatever the practices I do every day, every time, one thing, I should keep in my mind those principles, and I should keep the good positive experiences in meditation. So if I don't remember them, I don't recall them, what will happen? The mind will recall the same old stuff. Then you go back to the same thing. See the beauty, understanding how the Patanjali has explained that you can become the highest level of a seeker. Then comes samadhi. Samadhi here means is your mind remains one-pointed. When you wake up in the morning, tell me, how many of you actually record that real self is my essential nature, and I have to awaken to that real self early in the morning, the very first thought. So this one-pointedness is not an effortful process. You are not making an effort. Now this mind is so soft. Every time you wake up in the morning, before you go to sleep, the mind says, oh, I have yet to achieve my real self. I have understood that real self is of the nature of pure consciousness, truth, and permanent happiness, love and wisdom. So what is going to happen now? See that? You live in your mind with that understanding of the real self. What will happen? Think of it. In your daily life, the mind is constantly pushing you to know that your real nature is full of peace and happiness. Somebody comes and insults you. You remember, peace is my essential nature. You see, lot of things takes place that we don't realize. Only when we continue the journey, then only we realize, oh, what a big deal. I have never thought of this. Oh, joy. Lara has a big house I don't have. Now see that. But happiness is my essential nature. What a big deal. Let me appreciate if she has it and I don't have it. Let me live in peace. You see that, how the mind starts working. So the entire working of the mind changes. That's why I say I'm homeless. I don't have any house. I'm jobless. And also knowledgeless, because knowledge belongs to the teacher. So what happens? The mind is always free. So that is fourth. And the fifth one is known as prajna. Prajna, the word prajna. Two-syllable word. Pra means higher. Gya means consciousness. The mind constantly lives and attracted to the higher consciousness. It is not attracted to the likes and dislikes. It is not attracted to the duality. It is not attracted to the mind that moves like a pendulum, pain, pleasure, likes, dislikes, profit and loss. It says, okay, let me continue working. Today is profit, tomorrow is loss. That is bound to happen. That is the very nature of the world. Now see, if you contemplate and reflect daily on these 5 traits that makes you a seeker, The mental challenges will disappear from the mind. You have yet to achieve the higher state of meditation. But the way these traits are cultivated in your day-to-day life, you become a seeker and you have yet to achieve the higher state of meditation. But what happens? Your mental challenges have gone. What will happen at the subtler level? Your mind, you are living with your honey in your relationship, and the mind has certain, you can say certain likes and dislikes, they will disappear. What will happen to the mind? Let me appreciate the way my honey is thinking, working. See that? It is not a change in meditation. You don't become a seeker only for the meditation. The life of a seeker changes tremendously. From moment to moment, in relationship, in profession, in your social life, in your family life. Shraddha, Virya, Smriti. Shraddha, the faith. Faith. Do you have a faith? Daniel, do you have a faith that you are man? This is Shraddha. A clarity, a conviction is there. Now, do I have a faith that I am holding on that my real nature is pure consciousness? Who disturbs that? Faith? My likes and dislikes of the mind, my anger, my hesitation, my ego, my duality, my comparison. Now all these are absent in the mind. So what will happen? Only the faith of the reality will be there. So it is not that we cannot become the highest level. Yeah, it took me many, many years. I was fool and I'm still fool. So it took me 6-7 years, contemplating constantly and then knowing, oh, good, this is what it is. It changed my attitude and my behavior, my personality, my responses. It's my personal experience, but what Patanjali is saying is Samadhi, and then Shraddha, Virya, Smriti, Virya, energy, enthusiasm. Have you ever felt that today I am not ready for meditation? You have low energy. Why you have low energy? Because the mind has been thinking a lot about what you should not think. A lot of thoughts drains your energy. See the psychology behind it. Now, you need not to study modern psychology. These are normal day-to-day experiences. So it means energy, enthusiasm, commitment, Shraddha, Virya, Smriti, right memory. Oh, yesterday I was in meditation and that gave me a total calm and the peace. I was totally absorbed. Let me rethink it. What we think? I have a lot of anxiety. I have a lot of score to settle with my friends and colleagues in the honey. This is what we think in our life. So what is going to happen? Think of it. Think of it. Think of it. But the many people they argue, they rationalize. After all, do you believe that my honey is crazy? I said, why should I believe? You have come to me. I have to take care of you, not to your honey. What the hell I have to do with your honey? But if you both have come, then I will take care of you, both of you. Look at it. That is the approach the mind takes. And that mind takes you to become the highest level of a seeker. And the prajna means a higher consciousness. What is higher consciousness in day-to-day life? This world will always offer the opposing thought process. There is a like and dislike, there is a profit and loss, there is a pain and a pleasure. Every day. That is the very nature of the world. But the mind says, okay, I am in the midst of all these opposing nature of the world, but I am free from it. You don't take it. You take it as a grain of a salt. Look at that mind. That mind reaches to the highest level of a seeker, and that seeker always succeeds. But still, Patanjali goes further, so that we will take up. The third sutra is that even if you don't have, you cannot cultivate these 5 qualities, 5 traits. That we will take up next session. So what he said, do you have the intense aspiration? I just give you an idea. If I correctly remember the Ramakrishna Paramhans. Ramakrishna Paramhans. I don't recall now. But he says, if you have an intense aspiration, a burning desire, that burning desire makes you the highest level of a seeker. Yes, it will complete in a minute and then we will start the practice. So, how to attain awakening and realization? That was the question. By a disciple to a master. The master and the disciple were near a river, and the master said, come on, my friend, let's take a bath and then I will tell you. So they went little deep down, deep inside the river, 5 feet, 6 feet, and then the master was very strong like my master. So he catch the neck of the disciple and put him inside the water. So after a minute, he left the neck, and the disciple had came out of the water, and he said, are you crazy? I should have died. So the master said, you wanted to live. You have that tremendous energy inside you to save yourself. Do you have that intense aspiration for awakening and meditation? Only one quality is required. You don't need any other quality. Because that burns the rest of the thoughts. Have we seen that? So, let us start our journey of meditation. Now, eyes are closed. Eyes are closed. So, when you close your eyes, can we recall and remember? Very good. No problem here. No problem, Terry. That's good. You're listening to me. That's enough. So eyes are closed, your body is comfortable, the mind is looking inside. Can I move casually? Can you recall I am? So when you say I am, does the mind goes to that real self with the clarity? I know I am. I am conscious. So the second part of the real self is consciousness. And that real self is all pervading. So there is no two. I know I am in the state of permanent happiness. That is the nature of the real self. So always recall. Now you see that? Did I cover the right memory, one of the 5 traits? Oh, who will think I have lot of other works to think upon? This is the highest work. a human can do in one's life. So now look at, just become aware of the body, look at all the joints of the body. Casually, with awareness, you are looking at the neck joint, feeling the sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. And then the mind keeps looking into the space. You see, what is that? Because of the energy, enthusiasm, there is a heightened level of awareness and attention. So even if lot of thoughts entering into the mind says, who cares? So you become the carefree also. Same time you are comfortable, same time you are carefree. Have you seen, and you might have experienced that in the beginning, the mind says, take care of the body, move the body. Oh, I feel too much. I feel heaviness. No, I have lot of problems. Now the mind says, who cares you? I'm not the body. You know what happens? Because of second trait of energy, enthusiasm and commitment, the mind leaves any identification with the body and its discomfort. And then what happens? That discomfort drops by itself. We are going, after all, into a higher journey. So we should understand this. So you see that you just do nothing every day in the morning, and I gave a label. Be comfortable, be carefree, be casual. In that process, you do nothing, and the mind says, I'm okay. Tell me what to do next. You are a higher level of a seeker. You have to check yourself. What trait that you have gained? Right memory. Shraddha Virya Smriti. Samadhi Prajna Purvak Itaresham. You know, the way we sit casually, unconsciously and habitually. But here we are sitting with awareness and attention with these traits in the mind. Now, we will continue with the nyasa. So start breathing little deep, silent and slow. So nyasa with the Om. Now see, the Om works. I introduced that in a couple of weeks before, but now you will understand the importance of it. First, deep, silent and slow breathing. The breath is your car. Mind is the driver. The space inside is the highway. And Om, the right memory. The intellect and the mind moves with that clarity. So what we are doing? The moment you inhale, move the mind inside the right arm, into the space inside, singing and listening. Om. And exhaling, moving the mind from the fingertips to the shoulder, inside in the space, singing and listening Om. Yesterday I was giving a session, so that thought came to my mind. I'm sharing with you about this nyasa, about this step. You know, we cook vegetables, but if we don't put seasoning and the spices, that seasoning and the spices gives totally a new flavor to the veggie. That Om gives a new flavor to the mind and the intellect. Take it that way. Why? With a new flavor, the mind does not go anywhere. Move the mind inside the left arm now. Inhale. The mind is moving inside the left arm in the space on the highway, singing and listening Om. So mind needs that flavor, a new flavor, a subtler flavor. Why? For the fourth trait, to leave the unnecessary, unwanted thought process. But if you say, I have a lot of thoughts, how to control, it will never happen. Give a new flavor to the mind. And we have only 1 million flavors written in our text. You see, the right knowledge strikes to the mind. And now move the mind inside the right leg. As you inhale, the mind moves from the right side of the waist inside into the space with the mind, with the singing and listening of Om, reaching to the toes. And when you exhale, the mind moves inside from the toes to the right side of the waist. Well, if the mind objects to, I have been doing the opposite way, do it opposite way. What is the goal? No issue. And now inside the left leg. What a beautiful way you all are doing. That is the way. We never ever think that we cannot become the seeker. We can become the highest level of a seeker, provided we are ready. And now inside the spine, as you inhale, move the mind from the crown of the head to the tailbone, singing and listening Om, as if you are dropping Om on that highway in the space. So the approach, and as you exhale, the mind is moving from the tailbone to the top of the head, inside the spine, in the space, with the singing and listening of Om. Always remember that understanding of the spice. Your mind is wandering, give a spice to the mind, a flavor to the mind. Based on the teachings of the Eastern wisdom. Don't start thinking I'm more intelligent. Then it will not work. I'll tell you why. And now we will continue with the mantra. I'm going to change it later. So the first mantra, singing, listening, meaning, and the knowledge all together. So what is the meaning of the first line? Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Swastir, well-being. Can you see well-being? No, it manifests at the physical level, at the mental level, at the emotional level. But it means, no, I have to become aware before its manifestation. Keep that flavor in the mind while singing, listening, meaning, and knowledge. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. How simple it is. What is that simple? No, I say Stephen means my mind, my eyes looks at the image of the Stephen. Same way. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Your mind is looking that well-being. It is a part of the consciousness. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. 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 So we ask the mind, come on, why don't you see and feel and know and be in the state of a well-being? Second line, Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Shanti means peace. Do you still remember that I explained? It is sukha. Sukha means good space. So our master says that the very image of the peace is the infinite space. So let the mind continue the journey with the infinite space inside. Every time you are singing, listening with the meaning. Not a great deal for you now. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Understand, if you don't have a right knowledge, then what will happen? You are singing the same mantra and the mind is saying, I am in anxiety, I am in stress, my mind is reacting. So every time you are singing, but the mind gets a flavor of reaction and anxiety. So how can you change? That is why right memory. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Your mind becomes emotional. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. 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 Do you see the perfect combination of these 5 traits? You have energy, you have enthusiasm, you have commitment. And then you add a flavor to the mind. So what happens? It becomes a pure emotion. So then what happens? The pure emotion knows what is right knowledge. I have to find my real self. The mind becomes one-pointedness. Never ever think that the one-pointedness or focus or concentration in yoga and meditation is like modern psychology. Not at all. Third line, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Purnam, completeness. Can you get with the love that I'm complete in myself? What I need? Nothing from the world. And then see the change. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Aha, moment. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. See the pick. Mind picks up the higher consciousness. Oh, that is it. It is so simple. When the mind declares, means what? You are a seeker. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. These 5 traits changes the entire mind, provided it is supported by the right knowledge, understanding, followed by the practice. And the last line, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Mangalam, auspiciousness. Did I say? How do I find this moment is auspicious? I am in the state of well-being, speaking to you, feeling peace within, sense of completeness is there. Then every moment is auspicious. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. All the 5 traits are there. Not one after the other, but together. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. 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 You're somewhere deep inside, the mind hears the inner voice. That is it. I'm done with this crazy world outside. I understood it. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. What deepens the practice? Your understanding of these principles. I am simply a pointer. I can never help you. I can point you out. And now comes the Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So you are singing in your mind. Om. Mind with the 5 traits is looking deep inside you. What it is looking? Real self, or simply the infinite space. First Shanti, we break the barrier of ignorance. Second Shanti, on the mind. Mind, live into that state. Why? I have to reflect the real self. Third Shanti, body and the world. Let us sing. Mentally, singing, listening with the meaning. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I can understand you like Shanti, 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 but one time the mind says, who will say Shanti? I'm already there. Shanti. Ignorance not there. Mind, Shanti, not there. Body and the word Shanti, I'm already transcended that. You know it in meditation. The masters are not simply, saying and repeating with the crazy, no, you transcend the body and the mind. No. You know it. You experience it. That is your first person experience, my friends. Continue. Continue. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. You see, by saying Om Shanti Shanti, your mind does not flicker, wander. Why? Because of the faith, because of the energy and the enthusiasm you have, because of the right memory, because of the one-pointedness, and because your mind has a flavor of smelling, tasting, being with the higher consciousness. I summarized the sutra, the principle. Instead of bringing the mind outside with the Shanti, take the mind deeper inside. What it means? You're saying, mind is moving inside. And then you find the space. Drop the Shanti. First milestone. Then ask the mind to go deeper inside the heart. Again drop the Shanti. Oh, you still mind says, no, I can go a little deeper. Okay, Shanti. And after that, a pause. And again start. Horizontal movement, not outside. Horizontal movement inside. So there is a natural horizontal movement of the mind deep inside the heart when we live with these 5 traits. You see, I made a little change and you will see, oh, what a beauty. I can go easily deeper. Now the Shanti is going deeper and deeper and deeper. Now do nothing, remain as you are. What we are discovering, we already have it. It is lost in ignorance. That is why we are in a state of doing nothing. Lost and found is the journey of meditation. So every time, in every session, I point you out, do nothing, and see, you are already there. Done. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind to the right hand, your mind to the left hand. The time will come when I'm chanting and your mind says, why don't you go inside? Check. I'm there or not. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes and open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. For the right memory, we'll share our experiences. How are you, Christina?
I feel much better than I did. I was definitely very busy when I felt rushed trying to get on here last minute, and so yeah, my energy was definitely very off. But sorry, that was amazing. I've been feeling a lot of pain in my body in a lot of different places, and I totally just didn't feel anything for that. That was awesome. I don't even know how to talk right now. Sorry.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful experience.
That was needed. So thank you.
And remember, this is real. You have a pain, you go into meditation, come out of the meditation, the pain disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Don't see that it is superficial. No, it is real. Provided you maintain that state of the mind from now onwards during the day, there will be no pain.
Yeah.
How are you, Daniel? Very good.
Thank you. I'm fine. For me today it was very focused and calm. And at the beginning I struggled a little bit with focusing because today it's a pretty busy day for me, and I think that my energy level is a little bit lower than usual.
Okay.
But a part of that was very calm and quiet.
Very calm and quiet. You see that? That is how you start understanding yourself. Oh, here is the challenge. Here was the problem. That's why I did not succeed. And now there is no problem. And I succeeded. That is what the 5 traits to become a seeker is there. How are you, Jerry and David?
Similar to Daniel, it was, for me, I was up early, so my mind was going, so it was a busy mind, but I was able to let go of it at some portion, and then by the end of it, I got into a very deep, quiet space, and my limbs were very heavy at the end. In fact, took a lot of energy to lift up my hands to put them in front of my face. I did like your lost and found conversation. I thought that was really great, so I'm going to focus on that for a little bit. That was kind of enlightening for me.
Beautiful. I can see you that you pick up these points of wisdom so fast. That's really good. How are you, Jerry?
I'm doing well, sir. It was quiet. When you brought us to the Om Shantis, that was definitely a different space for me. So when I started doing the Om Shanti deeper, the space changed.
That's a good point. That's really a good point. That's really a good point. And that's a deeper. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good. For me, I had difficulty getting comfortable at the very beginning. Just my body position and it didn't last very long. And then I basically said to myself, I am. And as soon as I said I am, I felt this settling behind my mind.
That's beautiful.
And I just fell into this deep meditation, was there the entire time till the end. I mean, I heard you, but I stayed, and I know that typically my meditation takes me to my heart center, and I'm there. Today, I was in behind my mind the entire time.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. You see, when there is 100% wisdom about these 5 traits, you are already there. It's only the mind has to realize. That is what you are saying. I'm just outside Sam's house, but I don't know which house belongs to the Sam, but Sam comes out. Oh, here it is. That is, example. That is what happens. How are you, Terry? Terry tries to open it. So let us go to Sam.
I'm really good. Definitely deeper and quieter. For the first minute or two, definitely was getting settled, but it happens more quickly now that I get settled.
Good.
Usually when I know that my mind was going a lot beforehand, there's a lot of colors flying around when I close my eyes, and then about a minute or two in, we're kind of in that blank screen, and was just listening and
beautiful.
Quiet and deep. So.
And calm and the peace is there and the joy. That's really good. You pointed out that's good. It takes less time to settle yourself. That's a good point. So how are you, Sangeeta?
सर बहुत पीसफुल है सर.
Peaceful.
कई बार ना जैसे फोरहेड के पीछे मुझे लाइट दिखती है, तो वो मुझे बड़ा अच्छा.
That's very good. That's very good. We will talk about it. She experiences or she perceives the light behind the eyebrow center. So we are going there. Step by step, according to Patanjali. It's a beautiful. So we have Lara now.
I also kind of had a similar experience. I realized my energy was kind of pulled out, and it's been very busy this week, and so just trying to notice where my energy almost, for lack of a better term, like leaked out into these other places, and I was starting to pull it back. And then we started the Nyasa. I got stuck on the right arm, and then I was with the right arm, and then all of a sudden you moved to the left leg, and I was like, wait, where did that rest of the body go?
That's the that happens. That was.
So then I was like, okay. I love the chant. It almost feels like a bath.
Yeah.
For the body.
Yes.
And then when we did the Om Shanti today, I just got everything went kind of like reddish orange.
Reddish
and
orange.
Then
yeah, that's
reddish
deeper.
Orange, and then it was just sort of, then we were done.
Ah.
And then you pulled us up.
Yeah, that's a deeper experience. That's a deeper experience. You see that we should now think of this. What is that? 5 traits are Shraddha, faith. So I have clarified faith. So if you have faith in the stress in the mind, then the mind will go back again and again and think of the stress. See that? Shraddha, virya, energy, enthusiasm and commitment. That is one. Shraddha, virya, smriti, right memory. Right memory. I can tell you one thing that may be helpful. Every day in the morning or at any time of the day, maybe that is another process of meditation coming from the text, group of the text which is known as Purana. So Puranas are basically, these principles were explained in the form of stories. So just see that the moment the mind has a low energy, simply do nothing. Close your eyes, visualize the sun in front of you, the morning sun, and then visualize the rays of the sun is entering into the top of the head, entering into the spine, and lightening every cell of the body. Do it a couple of times and you will see the mind will get a tremendous energy. So that's totally a different approach. In the Purana, when we study Purana, that meditation is totally different. So like this, we have the hundreds of other tools and devices and the steps to keep our mind with these 5 traits that makes us a seeker. That is all for today. Thank you very much. If any question is there, any question? No question. That's very good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll meet again.
Thank you.
Thank you.